Now, along with the war in Ukraine, the situation in Gaza has also been dominating discussions at the UN General Assembly. On the ground itself, medical officials in Gaza say at least 84 Palestinians were killed in Israeli attacks on Wednesday, and thousands of civilians remain in Gaza City under a fierce ground assault by Israeli troops who are aiming to take full control. Yolande Knell is our Middle East correspondent. She explained how the president of the State of Palestine, Mahmoud Abbas, will be addressing the UN General Assembly despite not being allowed into the US.
So the 89-year-old president is expected to make this address by video link. That was something that was allowed by the UN General Assembly. They voted overwhelmingly in favour because the US had barred him and his senior aides from travelling to New York for this gathering of world leaders. The US took that action to show its opposition to moves by the Palestinian Authority, which Mr. Abbas leads, for more countries to recognise an independent Palestinian state. Mr. Abbas himself is somebody who is unpopular with many Palestinians. They see his authority as being corrupt and ineffective. We're expecting Mr. Abbas to come out promising more reforms, which many foreign countries, donors to the Palestinian Authority, are demanding because despite its faults, many countries in the world still see the Palestinian Authority as a basis for future governance of Gaza, as well as parts of the West Bank where it governs at the moment. Expect Mr. Abbas also to talk about the dire economic state of the Palestinian Authority's finances, whereby it can barely afford to pay its employees across the West Bank at the moment. That is largely because Israel has been withholding the tax revenues that it relies on to keep it afloat. And expect donors later to announce more economic assistance for the Palestinian Authority as a result of all of this. Israeli annexation, potential annexation of the West Bank likely to come up as well. This is something that far-right Israeli ministers have really been pushing for increasingly in recent weeks. But there was an interesting comment from President Macron of France saying that after he met President Trump, he believed that the president was opposed to this move of annexation in the West Bank. That's certainly a message he will have been getting from Arab Gulf allies as well.
And Yolande, do we have any more information about the new plan that the US has been talking about in the last few days to end the Gaza war?
I mean, a little bit more information is emerging, and certainly we had some very positive sounding comments from the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and also from the Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff as well. Mr. Witkoff saying, "We're hopeful, I might say even confident, that in the coming days we'll announce some kind of breakthrough." We understand this is a 21-point plan that Mr. Trump discussed with Arab leaders at their meeting on Tuesday, and there are reports about some of the things involved, the US principles that were laid out for a permanent ceasefire, gradual Israeli withdrawal from the Gaza Strip, a plan for a day after for a governing mechanism that excludes Hamas, with some suggestions that there could be Arab and Muslim countries sending troops for a peacekeeping force, and Arab funding too for some kind of transition government with some Palestinian Authority involvement in that. We're expecting to get more details on that after President Trump meets the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House. That should be on Monday.